Things have really been heating up in the gaming community over the past couple of days. This was one of the big ones. I did a video on this yesterday. This BBC gaming presenter who has been a part of all kinds of things in the gaming industry, host-wise. Even works for the Canadian Broadcasting Network, or whatever they call it, because they have a CBC over there too. I think she's done something with them as well. She came out the other day with her final solution, basically, talking about her struggle. Her ideology is very similar to somebody from World War II, at least in the way that she words things about final purges and solutions and stuff like that. But that definitely is Jules Hardy taking her words there and just putting them out. She is quite the host. Quite the host. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about lawsuits. Because the consultant group Black Girl Gamers is apparently going to go after that Park Place and anybody who talks about this. So I might as well put my hat in the ring on this because I think she's full of shit. Well, the group is full of shit. I'm going to go ahead and guess that they probably don't want to go to discovery, and we will get to that. But here's what kicked all of this off. People were talking about Forspoken, which Black Girl Gamers definitely did help develop. Their consultancy group did work on that game, and how did that work out? That game sold so poorly, the entire studio got folded. So the Sweet Baby Death Kiss continues. And I consider all these groups the same. I think Sweet Baby is just a good way to represent them all because they're the most well-known. But they put some stuff out there that is definitely illegal, basically discriminating against who they hire based on what they look like and what gender they are, because you're not allowed around them if you're a particular pale color, or if you're man. So we're going to get into that. And that's what Park Place put out there. But this is all based on what they have said from like this tweet right here, February 19th, 2024. Looking for black women content creators that make Dungeons & Dragons D&D content for some potential brand work. Hit us up. I don't think you're allowed to hire on that. It's based on, I don't know, labor laws? Back on February 19th, the organization appeared to post a job opportunity on X, limiting the applicants based on race and gender. The organization wrote on I just read that part, but ironically, a little less than a month later, the organization claimed to be harassed while not providing any evidence. It posted on X, the amount of harassment we've had recently due to this GG2 is not surprising. Gamers thought that the industry revolved around them and their comforts, and they are now realizing it doesn't. We've had emails, comments, and threats, but you know what? We're not going anywhere, the post concluded. A good point here by the article that they offered no evidence whatsoever of this. And I think I pointed this out as well when I was covering this, that they just kind of popped up out of nowhere. It's almost like they were looking for the attention, that they wanted it, and then they wanted to insert themselves into the Sweet Baby discourse, probably because they wanted to find work and stuff like that. Nobody was talking to this company. Nobody was looking at them. Nobody was talking about them. They've kind of just inserted themselves into all of this, which is a virtue signal in an attempt to find work, which is what most of the time when people do shit like this, you saw it a lot in the comic book industry. With mainstream comic pros pulling this a lot, saying they were being harassed and attacked and all this stuff. And then they usually would do that if they needed work. And sometimes they would get it. It worked for a while. Mags Sasagio is a really good example of that. The Heather Antoses of the world are certainly like that. They like to say that people are coming after them and saying this and that, and they never offer any kind of evidence whatsoever. What they're doing is trying to get a job. I call stuff like this job applications, and I think it's fitting. Like, this is a job application. That's what this tweet is. It's trying to get people to hire them based on victimhood narrative and stuff like that. Interestingly, in a post shortly after that one, the organization implied that telling it you're not being harassed is harassment. It wrote on X, if you're being harassed while simultaneously partaking in it, it's insane. So saying you're not and asking for evidence is, of course, harassment. That's been going on for a long time. And then the rest of the article talks about how Forspoken was an unliked piece of shit. And nobody liked it. And they worked on the game, and the game folded. The entire studio got destroyed because of that game, because it lost so much money. Well, this company, BGG, they're not very happy about this. They had a little bit of a meltdown over this and are threatening legal action based on people just talking about their public tweets that represent your company. And you can tell when people like jump up and say they're going to do stuff like this that they've never been in court. They've never had to pay lawyers. They've never had to pay legal fees. Like, that shit is expensive. I've been in court a time or two for things, and I'm going to tell you, those legal fees, they rack up, and they rack up fast. This is why it's like, this is why a lot of, like, when a person sues a huge company that has a lot of money, why they try to keep you in, like, legal loops, because what they want to do is rack up bill after bill after bill after bill so that you settle or drop out. I don't think that this consultant company here has the money to do something like that over something that, what are they going to do? What are you going to sue on? People talking about your public tweets? That's not going to go anywhere. You're the one that put it out there, like saying stuff like this, and that's against the law. That's against the law. You're discriminating based on who you're going to hire. That's illegal. But they put out this long response saying that they don't really do that. We're addressing the recent allegations published on thatparkplace.com about discriminatory hiring practices within BGG. These claims are false and were made without prior fact-checking or verification from us or our representatives. You posted it. We're going to fact-check your own post? When you have the name you have and you post something like that, people are going to believe it. And it's something a lot of these companies do. And I think there's going to be lawsuits with a lot of these people. Black Girl Games operates as a contracting organization that collaborates with both freelancers and content creators from all backgrounds to work on various projects and initiatives to amplify underrepresented voices in gaming and make the community more inclusive. Contrary to all the allegations in the article, BGG has contracted freelancers of all races, genders, sexual orientations, religions, and ethnic backgrounds. We have also included representation of all genders and backgrounds in our content, at our events, and in our marketing, consultation, and research projects, some of which are not publicly disclosed due to NDAs. Evidence demonstrating our commitment to diversity and inclusion, including our non-discriminatory hiring practices, is readily available and easily searchable. Upon discovering these false and defamatory allegations, we have taken steps to obtain legal counsel to take action against the publication and journalist, as well as any content creators who have reshared the false allegations about our organization. We will continue to pursue further action against anyone who persists in spreading false and defamatory information about Black Girl Gamers, its founder, and its contractors and partners. We value the talent and contributions of all our collaborators, and we are committed to continuing to do so. Thank you to our community for the ongoing support. And my response is, fuck you. Grum's doing the same thing, posting the dreaded link to the article that I shared and talked about a minute ago, putting this out there, covering this, finding more, by the way. BGG does go on to state that evidence of their non-discriminatory hiring practices is readily available. And I did some searches for BGG and hiring policy or consultant and was not able to find anything. Big shocker. Then they posted this. BGG's own website claims to be 100% minority operated. I've seen minority operated, but what does minority operated mean? It is unclear if they mean 100% of the management or 100% of all staff. The 100% minority operated claim, the sealed job board, and the lack of a hiring policy. I have to go here. On the website seems to contradict their claims of their hiring practices being readily available and easily searchable. Who is BGG? And he goes on to who they are, and we've talked about that. But what it comes down to, by the way, this is really funny. So BGG also runs a community, but you must apply and you cannot join if you self-identify as a man. Here's one of the questions on the fact. Can my white husband join? He's black on the inside. If you don't leave that man at home, they literally close the door on you. But here's the big one. Here's the kicker. So Legal Mindset responded, and he's got a great response here. The most insane thing here is that the company in question has likely made statements about other parties that are closer to defamation than those of the news outlet. There is zero chance this hits the actual malice standard, and beyond that, opening up that particular company to discovery may yield some dirty laundry that they don't want to come to light. I think that's likely true. In fact, there's probably some stuff in there from companies like Square Enix that would be really interesting if it dropped. And I don't know if you could make that relevant and get that information through discovery, but I'm going to guess that you could probably make a case for it based on who they hire and who they had work with Square Enix. So all of that would come out. This is just a big talk. And it's going to be funny if they do try to sue, because I'm pretty sure the community would come together because they would go after all of us at once as one party or something like that. So I'm pretty sure the community would come together and they would get absolutely wrecked with legal fees because they'd have to pay us all back at the end of the day. So that is the latest of meltdowns. I like this one. Failed to cancel YouTubers, failed to hoax Wikipedia. Dox gamers, call for purge of gamers, get 0 likes for 3 days, threaten to sue. We'll leave it there. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. This stuff has been going nuclear. Like, I think GG2 is here. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. What do you think? Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.